Hello, we're doing a choose your pile card reading today. We have 3 piles. Choose the top card that resonates the most with you. There will be timestamps in the description for you to go to the pile that resonates best with you. Today's reading is about what is your next epiphany? What is your next realization? Maybe you're coming into new thought patterns, new beliefs maybe. Here's pile 1. Here's the card for pile 2. And here is the card for pile 3. And I will see you at your pile. Hello, pile 1. So we're starting right away with this sacral chakra, core of creation. Straight away I'm seeing this little infinity snake here, sending energy out. And this energy that's being sent out is creating such power, such immense power, and it's a really pure, positive, beautiful power, and then that power is radiating out. Obviously, well, I don't know if this is obvious, but to me, I see the sun. I know this is talking about the sacral chakra, and that's what it's supposed to represent in this card, but I'm actually seeing power like the sun in this card. You're realizing that this energy that you put towards things is an immense power. It feels like you haven't fully realized that yet, that you are incredibly powerful, and the energy that you're putting towards something is huge. It's like, I guess I'm sensing for you, pile 1, that maybe you've been trying a little bit too hard, thinking you need to, and this is inner guidance saying all of that energy, all that effort that you're putting in is actually putting in so much energy. I love that the snake creates an infinity symbol. You're infinite. You have wings. You take flight. In the sense of being really powerful, being able to be any way you want to be, do anything you want to do, have anything you want to have. And there's a part of this as well with these. It's almost like you're sending this energy to here, and then these rays are coming off of that. So it's like you're putting energy into your desires, but then not only is that manifesting something that you want, but it's also radiating and creating almost for others as well, I suppose. It's not really for others. It's not that you're creating for others. It's that your power that you're putting out, it's trying to find the right words here. So when you put out and then something manifests, it has this like ripple effect of creating wonderful things around it as well. It's almost like imagine a flower popping up in the garden, and then it blooms more and more flowers around, and they're spreading. It's kind of like that. That's an analogy that I have. It's like you're creating the sun, but then the sun is beaming down this warmth and this vitamin D, for everybody. So you manifesting your desires through your effort is immensely powerful, and is also radiating more, I don't know, prosperity, abundance, joy, all these wonderful things from it too. There's like a butterfly effect happening with this, which is really interesting. That's new to me. So I'm having some realizations too. Pile one. Our next card, transformation. See, looking at this person, this being on this card, I'm seeing again that what I was saying in this card, that little bit of trying too hard energy, that little bit of please, you know, and yet it's like please, and yet there's this light that's like beaming from you, and you're going please at this light, I suppose, you know, please, like wishing on a star in a sense, but you are the star, you are, you know, like it's coming from you. It doesn't come from outside of you, it comes from you. You're very abundant. You know, we see abundance around you. You're magical, you've got wings, you're this, you know, in this card it looks like a fairy, a divine being that has light and stars and magic coming from her. And you have all of that, but you're looking outside of yourself for what you desire. You know, like I said, like please, like as if you're wishing on a star, as if you're asking maybe source to give it to you, you know, please can I have this thing? But it's not a please, it's a aligning. You know, you align with that, you align with what you desire, and then that desire falls into place. There's a little bit of this kind of like swirly, crisscrossy lines above her head, and I'm sensing confusion in there. Like, so I think what it is you're wishing upon a star, you're asking for it, not fully understanding why things aren't happening for you. I'm coming back here, you know, putting these cards together. You're putting that energy out, and it's so powerful that when we have a desire, we naturally have desires. That's why we react to things. That's why we judge things. We'll judge a circumstance. You know, I don't like this circumstance. I wish it was different, right? That's putting out a desire. And you keep doing that. And you keep doing it in a way of like, you're in what people would call step one. You're asking. I'm asking for this thing. I want this thing. I want this manifestation. Please, can I have it? I wish it was this. I wish it was that. Right? But then you're not doing the step of aligning with it. And it's saying to you, you're so powerful. You've put so much onto that desire. That desire is ready and made for you. You've created the sun. You know, it's there. It's waiting for you. So what it's waiting for is you realizing you're the one. You're the star. You're the star. So you're the one that you're asking, really. So what you're asking for is to come into alignment with it. And the way that you do that is you practice some gratitude. It doesn't even have to be about the thing that you want. It can be about anything, because gratitude isn't a should. Gratitude is about feeling feeling lucky, feeling blessed with where you are and what you have, right? It's about going, wow, you know what? I'm actually really lucky to have clean running water, to have a roof over my head. And some people do this by comparing themselves to those worse off than them, or even to themselves, because maybe they're in a better position now than they were in the past. And it's not dwelling on those things, obviously, but it's going, you know what? I have clean running water. I'm so lucky. I have a roof over my head. I'm so lucky. You know, and then maybe continuing on that sort of thought until you feel really lucky. And it's not about feeling really lucky and then that's it. You should be happy with where you are. It's about feeling really lucky, because when you feel that, you get out of your own way. Because when you're doing this, like, please, 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 it's not an aligned feeling, right? It's maybe a needy feeling, maybe I'm not happy where I am feeling. And that's not going to manifest what you're desiring. You've got to align with it. To align, you've got to align with the same frequency. The same frequency as you having it is a sense of maybe happiness, maybe a sense of relief, maybe a sense of gratitude, you know. And so you can practice some gratitude, or you can even, maybe, I think this reading for you is you realizing, you know, this is what this video is about. What is your next realization? What is your next epiphany? So I can imagine as I'm talking, you're going, oh, I haven't realized I've been doing that. Yes, I realize now that I am. And so now I realize I need to align with it rather than asking for it. And you know, I feel like you know what to do there. I feel like you know, I don't know, maybe you have a thing about affirmations, maybe you have a thing about gratitude, maybe you have a thing about shifting your energy, visualizing, I don't know, like, you do you. And yeah, aligning with it. I feel like as well, I get the feeling that this isn't just about one thing. You might have one thing in your mind right now, like, yes, I want to manifest this one thing. But I feel like this for you is like a key. Like, we're unlocking a key for you right now where you'll not only get that thing that you're thinking about, but it will now open up like, oh, okay, like, I've realized, right? And then you'll be able to get other things as well. Crystal keys. This feels like information coming in. So we can see these like bubbles, and they feel to me like they're coming in. And they've got these symbols. These symbols seem very otherworldly, very beyond here. And isn't it funny that it says crystal keys? Because I just said, you know, this is the key for you. I get the sense that what I've been talking about, you already know, you've just forgotten, in a sense. It's not even forgotten. It's like, we're all connected. We all know. We're all tapped in, right, to the knowledge. So as I'm saying this, you're feeling like, yeah, I already know that. But you just haven't realized consciously that you've had this like, oh, please type of energy going on. And this, like, you've put it out there. You know, when we talk about manifestation, we talk about you put it out there and then it comes back type of thing. I know people have different schools of thought, so whatever works for you. But you keep putting you've put so much energy on it, and you're this infinite being, and you're flying, and you know, and you keep doing this not keep doing, but you've been doing this, please. And so, yeah, you're just realizing that you're like, oh yeah, of course, right? I know what I'm doing. That's what I'm feeling from you. You know what you're doing. Because this card feels very, very connected, very spiritual. I'm noticing the fish as well, at the top here. See, what comes to mind for me is when people talk about goldfish and they have this really, they're very forgetful. You know, they don't have very long memory, apparently. Apparently that's not true, but it's that sort of like wives' tale. It's kind of like Dory, you know, out of Nemo. She's forgetting all of the time. And so I think it's just saying you just kind of forgot a little bit. You know how to do this. You've done this before. You've got all the keys. You've got information coming in, right? I mean, even right now, you being here, you've connected to something. Yeah, this is very, like, connected, knowledgeable. I feel like I over explained that beginning bit for you because you're like, yeah, I know. Creation. It's like the two pieces coming together. It's like we see, when we think about manifestation, we think about there's duality in there, right? There's like there's this thing that I want that I don't have, and there's a duality in that. So I feel like these two people together and the word creation, it's like it's coming together, right? It's you becoming, I suppose it's like when people talk about getting into a relationship and becoming one, you know, to become one. I'm wondering now if it is a relationship that you're wanting. Maybe, but the concept that I'm getting with this is you becoming one with that which you want. And it's not just the thing that you're thinking about. It's everything. It's whenever you go to manifest anything, become one with it. I'm also getting the concept of, and maybe this is why I talked about gratitude and all of that stuff in the beginning, because I'm getting the concept of when you practice your version of positive thinking, maybe that's gratitude, maybe it's affirmations, maybe it's visualization, maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe you've got your own thing going on and you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you do that, when you align with your own personal positivity, it could even be you busying yourself with things you love to do, you know, not busying yourself as in like, oh, let's shove down all these negative thoughts and feelings and try to forget about them and ignore them, but just you going about your day to day, you going about your activities that you love and enjoy doing. And when you do that, you automatically align and become one with that which you want. The masculine. What's interesting about this is, sorry, I keep going to put it down and then pick it back up. What's interesting about this is he looks a little bit lost. When I think of masculine, I think about, you know, concepts that we label masculine, like logic. That's the first word that came to mind for me. It feels like you're confused in your logic. You're trying to work it out logically when the path for you right now is to, let go of that logic and allow It's like he's looking, but the way that he's looking is into the dark. I almost imagine there's like a dark hallway that way that he's looking. And he can't see down it, and he's wondering why. He's confused. So I think this is about, I feel like this is about let go of that logic a little bit and go with the flow and allow. Epicus, the seer, visionary. I chart the stars, signs, and symbols to craft magic. See, that's opposite of logic. It's symbolism, it's signs, it's magic. And it's coming from his heart center there. You know, so similar to this card over here, where we saw the light coming from the chest, but you're holding it in and wishing something or someone or source or God will do it for you. You know, which in some ways it does. It's just realizing you are source. You're doing it for you. There's a confidence in this card as well. There's a confidence here about going with that flow, going, trusting that heart center, opening it up and allowing. It feels like as well, if it is, and this might not be everyone here right now, but if it is love that you're wanting through manifestation, this is like saying open your heart with confidence. Be confident in opening your heart. It's like it's got a little cage around, like, oh, I'm just protecting my heart a little. And I feel like that's okay. I think maybe yours is more closed than that, and it's saying just open it just a smidge there. Just a little. Maya, the ancient grandmother, teacher. I am the teacher that leads with self-knowledge. Yeah, this is about you trusting you trusting yourself, you realizing you're leading yourself, you're teaching yourself, you have the knowledge within you. You've got an owl on your head, you know, which is wisdom. See, she's knowledgeable. She does teach herself. But there's this shadowiness. There's like a shy look on her face, like a self-conscious, not 100% believing in self, which, you know, aligns with what we've been talking about, because you're the one who's doing it for you, and you know this, pile one. You know this. So it's not about, you know, begging anyone else or anything else to do this for you, because you're the one doing it, and you know that. And I mean, she's really, really powerful. You're really powerful. You just need to trust yourself. You know, be confident in yourself to be able to get everything you want, everything you need in this life. The beetle as well, I feel like represents prosperity. and abundance. And there's this little crystal ball at the top of her head, like at the top of this beetle. You're wise, you're connected, you understand, you know how to manifest. You've just forgotten a little bit. You just got a little bit confused. And I do this too. I get into that as well. Like, I've caught myself in the past where I'm asking for it as if I'm asking somebody, as if someone else or something else is going to give it to me, and then realizing, oh, if I'm asking for it, then I'm not aligning with it. And I think that's your realization here. You have the key to it all. You know it already. Open your heart a little to it, become one with it. Let go of that logic. If this reading resonated with you, I'd love to know about it in the comments. I'd love to know also if in the future, if now this has helped you, and if in the future it's helped you as well. Love to know the success stories of your manifestations. If you liked the video, please like. You're more than welcome to subscribe. And I may or may not see you in a future video if one resonates with you. Thank you so much. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome. This card that we're starting with, absolutely gorgeous, absolutely deep, very, very deep. Aether, the seamless, unspeakable. There's almost no words for this, and I think that's why it's called the seamless, unspeakable, because it's just so, there's such a depth to this card, there's such a depth to the feel of this. I'm feeling like this is as well, because every time we get cards, there's a little bit of a different feeling depending on the reading we're doing, right? So this feels like, I'm noticing today that there's all this detail, really, it's like really deep, really far within it. But then, and we've got the geometric shaping, we've got circles and hexagons and triangles, and people talk about sacred geometry, and everything's made up of these base shapes. We see the flower of life, and for me that represents the basis of everything, right down into source, right in there. But then today I'm feeling like it's coming into, it's coming into these like more recognizable beings, like it's everything's made up of this, like deep down, but then it's kind of like how we're made up of, atoms and molecules, but then as we zoom out, we're a human being with a body. And that's what I'm seeing in this, is like we're seeing all this makeup of reality, and then we zoom out and we've got this like dragony being, we've got eyes, we've got wings. So it's almost like from the base of everything all the way up to physical reality that we can pick up with our senses. So this video is about, what is your next epiphany? I feel like this is about realizing how deep and complex you are. You realizing this depth to you, this complexity that there is to you. But also from this complexity, it's like maybe you've just seen yourself as this kind of, and you've known about spirituality, you've known about stuff, but I feel like you're coming into a realization of there's a lot more to me. Like, yeah, you knew there was more to you. You knew of spirituality, there's more to us. Maybe some concepts around infinite. But you're starting to realize, wait a minute, it's really complex. Wait a minute, there's a lot. Wait a minute, there's far more to me than the eye can see. Like, far more. Our ancient future. What an interesting concept, right? This plays on our ideas of time and space, and there's again these deep concepts and then these worldly concepts. We've got the symbols up here, we've got DNA strands, we've got wavelengths, like frequencies and vibrations, and we've got other symbolisms, floating around. And then we also have, the symbolism of her being a mythological type being. She's a mermaid with wings, a mermaid with wings. We've got the yin and yang. So there's a lot in here about earth and spirituality. And I think it feels to me that you're coming into realizing earth and spirituality are one and the same. They're one and the same. There's no separation. There isn't a spiritual place that's not earth. You know what I mean? Let me find some other words to put that into. So maybe you've heard the concept there's no space and time. Reality isn't as real as we think it is. It's not as solid as we think it is. We even think that in terms of atoms and molecules. Everything's vibration. You don't really sit on a chair, you just repel from a chair. So I think that you're realizing spirituality isn't up there or out there. Spirituality is right here. And by the word spirituality, I'm talking about source. I'm talking about what people think of or refer to as the spiritual realm. People think, for example, we pass away and then we go somewhere else, right? There's these concepts of going through tunnels and going somewhere and being somewhere. But there is no somewhere. This is a really deep concept. So it's about there is no space and time. There is no solidity to reality. And this is something that you've been on the cusp of. This is like, you're ready for this, right? This is your next epiphany. Realizing that, there's no separation between my physical self and my physical reality and spirituality. It's not two separate things. Stepping through. See, I feel like those words are really apt. Stepping through. It's like when we're manifesting, like, people have this old concept of law of attraction, as if something's outside of them and they can think about it and focus on it and align with it, and that thing from outside will come to them. But people have been realizing it's best to use words like manifestation, because manifestation is more about creating it, right? It's about becoming the frequency of it. aligning with it, stepping through is more of the concept of, rather than it coming to me, I go to it through my frequency, right? I match it. So I step through to it. And just like we've been talking about, we have this person who has spiritual stuff, coming in and out of her because she's one and the same with it. It feels to me that you're learning to align with it. This concept of there's a lot more to me. There's a lot more, and not just to me, but to reality. There's a lot more to reality. There's a lot more to even spirituality. There's a lot that we can't pick up with our physical senses. There's so much complexity and so much depth, and you're realizing you're one with that. That's not outside, that's not somewhere else, that's not only when you pass away or only when you reach enlightenment and float away somewhere. It's right here, right now. And I feel like A, you're realizing that, and B, you're also becoming one with that as you're realizing it. It's like, oh, all of spirituality is right here, right now, and I'm one with it all of the time. Taboo. See, I feel like the bleeding, I always get this sort of sense of this person doing this. It's almost like feeling inner self, what I'm made up of, feeling for it, sensing it. I don't feel like the word taboo is relevant. I don't feel like you feel that. It's interesting as well because we've got this beautiful flower, but it's kind of melting into paint. So it's like it's a flower, but then it's not. And I feel like that's what we're talking about. It's like, oh, I'm a human being, but I'm also a spiritual being, right? I'm also something else. And spiritual being doesn't even give it justice for what you're realizing, for your understanding. I mean, when we look back at this card here, words like spirituality, aether, there's no words. This is why, the seamless unspeakable, because you sense it. We have senses to sense it, and you do sense it. And it's just so much more than spiritual. You're really starting to come into feeling and sensing the complexity of both who you are and who everyone is. Everything being intertwined. It's almost like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Lucy, and she ends up being connected to all, and sort of it's like she can sense it all at the same time and understand it all. It's like you're seeing things in a new light. You're seeing that things are connected. You're seeing like how things are connected together. You're seeing how things flow. You're seeing how your alignment, is creating and reacting to things. And I think as well, you're seeing that it's more than just, I said alignment because it's more than just your thoughts, right? You're realizing it's more than my thoughts. There's this complexity about me. We have groups of thoughts about things. When we think about a concept, there's lots of thoughts around that concept or that thing. And you're realizing that, there's lots of thoughts and feelings. It's very complex. There's a lot going on. You're understanding that, you're really honing in and sensing and feeling this really deep complexity to reality. Reality is spiritual, right? It is aligned with all of my thoughts and feelings and beliefs and assumptions and all kinds of stuff, going on. Those together are all manifesting and creating this physical reality and more. Escape. I notice how I feel a one with this card. Like this person is one with some kind of source, and or not some kind of, but source itself behind him. He's got this light source. It's not even light source, it is source. He's got this source behind him. And it's interesting that I feel like, there's the same patterning, like the circle with the little triangles that would fit behind here. And he also has like the leaves, like everything's together. We've got the maple leaf, and then some more over here, and then some more in here. And then we've got like the triangles, and we've got the triangle here, and we've got circles. Maybe just today you're fully realizing how one with everything you are, and how everything is here now. And maybe in the past you felt like a fighter against it in a way, like you were fighting against things happening in your life, or maybe life itself, or maybe you had this inner idea about something's wrong here. I know some people have this idea about like Earth not being the greatest place, and then they think that Earth isn't spiritual, right? Because they think it's separate. They're like, oh, Earth is a bad place and there's bad stuff happening. And so maybe you had thoughts around that or to do with that, and you were fighting. You're in this like, and you wanted to escape. You wanted to escape this reality, maybe through spirituality. Maybe you were using, meditating and aligning as a form of escape, to feel better. And now you're realizing, oh my gosh, I'm already there. I'm already one with it, right? You don't need to fight anything. And you're realizing that because this is your epiphany. This is your epiphany. So you had your guard up, you were fighting it, and all along you've been one with it, and you're realizing that right now. The Empress of the Night finale. After the storm, I emerge a shiny new star. The thing about epiphanies is they come because we go into a bit of a chaos. So we'll have a belief system, and that belief system's working for us. It all makes sense. And then things start to bring questions. We start to question something we believe in. And the more we question it, the more confused we get. And then we're not sure what to believe. And we feel really confused. Some people get upset in that, and feel a little bit of despair. But it's a moment, okay? And it's how we feel just before an epiphany. It's how growth happens. So after the storm, I emerge a shining new star. That's it. After that storm of chaos, that confusion, that maybe not feeling happy, because I'm lost, I don't know what to think, I don't know what to do. Maybe that kind of thought and feeling. You have the epiphany, and then yeah, it's like, oh, now I get it. Now I understand. It's a realization. It feels like you see the star, but you're still a little unsure about it. There's an unsureness there. I almost want to go for the next card. I'm just going to sit with this card for a little bit. The star, which represents the epiphany, this star that she's looking at and holding, I feel like she's looking at it with a, yeah, I know. So there's actually a peace in there. It feels peaceful. She's like, oh yeah. So I think this today is bringing peace for you, which, straight after this one is good, right? Because it's like, oh, I've been fighting. And in some ways there's there's a thought of like, I've been fighting myself in there. And then it's, this epiphany is going, oh, there's peace. There's peace coming with this. The Oracle forecast. I am the Oracle. My intuitive insights flow freely. I feel like the peace that is coming with that, it's not about, when I talked about like fighting because, I don't know, maybe there was some negative thoughts around Earth itself, that kind of thing. And now there's a peace and a harmony. But it's not that it's not that you necessarily need everything around you to be peaceful. It's about realizing I can choose to feel peaceful because I can choose to understand that all of this, all of reality, everything that's going on, even the fighting and whatnot, there's still an underlying spirituality in all of it. People who are fighting, people who are negative, they're just lost a little bit and they're finding themselves. And so the piece is about, it's okay. It's okay. It's not, maybe you look at things that are going on, maybe some things aren't going well for people around you, or even things that you see on Earth, but you're starting to make peace with it. It's not saying I want that to happen. It's just saying it is happening and I'm going to make peace. Maybe you've even had moments in your own life where you've gone through something that isn't positive, but in hindsight, you can see how it's grown you, how it's made you who you are today in a good way. Maybe it's taught you some things, grown you. So it's sort of that, it's almost like you're pulling out and seeing things from another perspective, like a bird's eye view in a way, or even more than a bird's eye view, even a view of what's happening now is going to lead to this positive end result. That you're starting to look back in hindsight at things and realize, when I was going through these things, or when someone I know was going through these things, it's really grown me or them as people. And I'm seeing in hindsight how good it was that we went through those things, even though they didn't feel good at the time. I feel like this card is really beautiful. You're understanding that, and I feel like that's what the oracle is. It's like you're seeing the bigger picture. You're aligning with all that is. You're starting to understand, to align, to allow, to be one with everything. That armor and that shield, is dropping, with you realizing you don't need that. You're good. You're okay. You don't need to fight things. Rather than, it's not that, you're going to drop everything and not do anything about anything. It's that realizing that I don't need to fight it. What I feel to do is align and flow with it. Right? Flow, not flow with negativity, but just flow with your alignment. Flow with lessons. Flow with life intertwines with spirituality. If you enjoyed this reading, I'd love to know about it in the comments. I'd love to know how this resonated with you. More than welcome to subscribe, hit the like button, and I may or may not see you in another reading, depending on whether another reading resonates with you. Hello, pile 3. Starting straight up there in the crown chakra. Crown chakra, the unlimited self. I'm seeing this beautiful flower. We often see lotus flowers in chakras, or associated with chakras. And there's this, it's not just like flow of energy coming from it. There's like almost like physical things, This reading is about your next epiphany, your next realization. I feel like you're beginning to see and understand that it's more than energy that's flowing from you. Everything is energy. Even physical things are energy. But I think you maybe you're realizing that what's physical is flowing from you as well. You're starting to see your part in manifesting physical reality from your energy, from you. There's beautiful colors in here. Look at this being. Unique gifts. I feel you're realizing your uniqueness is a gift, rather than this idea of I'm weird. Some people think, oh, I'm weird in a bad way. I think everyone's weird, honestly. But you're starting to see that you're weird. It's cool, right? Your weird is a gift. Your weird is interesting. You're quirky. And you're starting to see that it's not just who you are that's a gift, but it's also you have a unique energy print, right? That when you're thinking, when you're feeling, you're aligning to things, or manifesting things, or creating, you create very uniquely to you. And that's a gift to the world. Being here, being being in reality. It's always on purpose. If you're here on purpose. You're here for a reason, right? And you're starting to see that. You're starting to see your reason. You're starting to look around and notice that what's manifesting around you is yours, is unique to you. No one else manifests like you. No one else creates like you. No one else, not only manifestation, but everything is a manifestation. But the way that you would think about it is the way that you structure your life, right? The way that you go about things, who you are, the way that you present things, the way that you present yourself, your personality, they're all really unique, and all of it together creates this unique experience, right? Not just for yourself, but for others. And you're seeing that. This is your next epiphany. It's like, oh, I'm special, right? I'm gifting the world with something new. You're brand new. Everything that you're giving, everything that you're being naturally, just the way that you naturally are, is really unique and new. Trust your innocence. I get this like, who, me? What do you mean? No. And yeah, like, you're just being you. But there's this very different energy about you. There's this very different feel to you. Maybe even because I feel like everyone does this, everyone is unique, everyone brings unique gifts, but I feel like you're really unique. When people look at you, people sense each other. So when people sense you, because we all sense each other, when they do that, they sense unique. And I think this being, trust your innocence, I think you're not trying to be, you're just being you. I imagine people would describe you as quirky, and they love that about you. And I think maybe in the past you've had people describe you as quirky, but you've never really understood it. You've always thought, okay, what does that mean? What does that look like? Why am I quirky? What's quirky about me? But I think you're starting to see it. You're starting to go, oh yeah, I can see now. And I feel like you're embracing it too. It feels good. It feels like a celebration of you. I'm quirky. I'm different. I'm unique. I bring something to the world that's new, that's never been before. That people notice, right? People are really sensing that and liking that about you, and they always have. Secrecy. I sense the word humble in this. We just talked about you celebrating that in you, like, yeah, I'm quirky, I'm awesome, I'm different, I'm unique. But it doesn't come with any overconfidence or anything like that. It comes with a quiet confidence, and I think that's why she has her finger over her mouth, because she's being humbly confident. You're coming into your own. You're feeling like, this is who I am, and it's this pure self-love that's coming in, rather than like an overconfidence or anything like that. It's not like that. It's like a embracing, realizing I'm unique, realizing I'm quirky. I can see that now. I'm actually starting to see that in who I am and in how I do things and what I bring to the world. And I'm embracing that, and that embrace is like, it's like filling your heart. I can feel my heart really full right now. So it's like a really genuine confidence that's humble and nice. I don't know how to say this word. I looked it up the other day. But it means fertile, fruitful, things like that. I get that saying again of coming into my own, being happy as I am, feeling there's a sense of gratitude in it. There's appreciation. It's like I'm realizing who I am. I'm realizing that I'm very different. And maybe this was something, it feels like something that maybe in the past you didn't like hearing, you know, people, and you used words like weird in a bad way, you know. But it's almost like now that you're seeing it, you're realizing it's not bad at all. It's actually really good. And there's this appreciation for feeling how good that is, you know. There's appreciation of self. I appreciate myself. And I think that's a really big key for self-love, is appreciation for self. I mean, I love this card here. This beautiful, unique gifts being. There's like an energy of really different, but really lovable. Really lovable. You know, there's this heart here. I think you have a big heart. I think that you have a caring, kind, compassionate nature. So when people have said things about you that have pointed out that you're different, it's in the past kind of hurt your feelings. But I feel like now you've realized a lot of that was a misinterpretation. No one was saying it was a bad thing, or maybe, you know, a lot of people weren't saying it was a bad thing at all. They actually like it about you, and so now you like it about you, and you're feeling that appreciation for yourself. The ruby star flow. I embody my authentic and sensual essence. I saw that sensuality straight away. And I feel like that as well is you embracing you. You're embracing all of you, every aspect of you. You are embracing your sensuality. I love the words here. I embody my authentic and sensual essence. And this is what this feels like. It's like I've come into my own. I know who I am, and I am owning that. I own that. There's such a confidence here. There's just such a feeling of coming into my own and feeling really confident, embracing self, loving self. Sometimes people mix up confidence with being, overconfident, showing off, things like that. But that's a false confidence. It's not real. And you're realizing, you're confident and you don't need to be like anyone else. And in fact, you don't want to be like anybody else. You want to be unique. You love that you're unique. The visionary, awake. With an intuitive perspective, I see the bigger picture. I mean, she's just owning who she is with that really shiny third eye. I get this kind of feeling, this sort of here I am, coming into your own is what this feels like. So I'm trying to sense here if, it's because this reading is about an epiphany. This is a realization, a shift forward in a way. I get the feeling like you're already here. Like you were already here before this reading, but just like it's like the epiphany is you looking around. And when I say around, I mean at yourself, at your personality, at your day by day, your the way that you approach things. You're looking at all of those things and seeing how you bring uniqueness to everything. And you are unique. And suddenly it's like suddenly your eyes are open and you're seeing it. It's like, oh wow, this is actually nice. This is actually cool. I like this. Right? There's all of this embrace. I love it as well. You can see in this that it is true confidence because it's humble. Like you don't need to shout it to the rooftops, but at the same time it's like, here I am, I'm wonderful, I'm stunning, I'm amazing in my own way. It's like you're sensing, you're feeling what other people are feeling when they sense you. This unique energy, this quirky energy. I actually really like that word, quirky, because it's I feel like that describes you, and I feel like it's a cool word. Like it's a really positive description for you. When people are saying that about you, they're saying in a cool way. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this person's really quirky. So yeah, go you. You're amazing. If you enjoyed this reading, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Please like the video. Please let me know in the comments how this resonated with you, and what maybe you had your own little epiphany in there. I'd love for you to share it with me, and I will perhaps see you in another video if one resonates with you.